There is a limit to what one man can do alone. Even the greatest minds in history, Ford, Carnegie, Rockefeller, Edison, knew this. Their breakthroughs weren't the result of isolation. They were the result of association. They created a circle, tight, intentional, explosive in synergy. What Napoleon Hill calls the mastermind. And if you're serious about building a destiny, about climbing beyond the clouds into legacy, you must build one too. Because a dream that is isolated is a dream that is delayed. But a dream in the company of aligned minds becomes uncontainable. Let's clear the noise. The lone wolf narrative is a lie. You were never meant to build an empire alone. You need minds that sharpen you, voices that challenge you, eyes that see your blind spots, spirits that fuel your fire. The mastermind is not just friendship. It is intentional alliance, a gathering of like-minded souls fused together by definite purpose. And when that fusion happens, you ignite power beyond understanding. Hill says, no two minds ever come together without thereby creating a third, invisible, intangible force, which may be likened to a third mind. That's not philosophy. That's alchemy. Think of Carnegie. He had a team of 50+ men, each a titan in his own right, working under a shared vision. Carnegie built an empire not by hoarding power, but by multiplying it. Ford collaborated with Edison. Hill surrounded himself with the thoughts of the greatest men of his generation. Even Napoleon Bonaparte, the military genius, attributed much of his success to his inner circle of strategic thinkers. What about you? Who surrounds your vision? Who speaks life into your life? Who refuses to let you settle? Or are you walking alone, wondering why it feels so heavy? Here's the truth. Your life will rise or fall to the level of your associations. If you spend time with those who doubt, complain, and conform, you will eventually become them. But if you link arms with the bold, the focused, the relentless, their fire becomes your fuel. Their strategies becomes your shortcuts. Their convictions becomes your compass. This is the power of the mastermind. So what does it take to build one? First, you must become the kind of person worth connecting with. Stop waiting to be discovered. Stop begging for mentorship. Instead, sharpen your mind, develop your voice, own your mission, radiate such clarity that other great minds can't ignore you. Then seek out others who are moving in alignment. Not the loudest, not the flashiest, the most rooted. People with conviction, vision, consistency. They don't have to be famous, they just have to be faithful to grow. And hear this. Your mastermind doesn't need to be huge. It needs to be strategic. Hill said, 2 minds are enough to unlock this power. Even one alliance, deep, honest, and purpose-driven, can multiply your impact exponentially. This is not about networking. This is about convergence. Bringing minds together in an atmosphere of trust and ambition. Set regular meetings. Discuss bold ideas. Challenge each other's limits. Celebrate progress and push for more. Because iron sharpens iron, but iron left alone rusts. Let's get practical. Ask yourself, who in my life is aligned with my highest calling? Who do I admire not just for skill, but for integrity? Who challenges me to grow and does not tolerate my excuses? Who do I need to let go of because they shrink my vision? And most importantly, what kind of mastermind energy do I bring? Am I contributing wisdom, strategy, and belief? Or am I showing up empty, hoping to be rescued? The mastermind is not a support group. It is a war council, and every member must bring strength to the table. Say this now. I attract minds that accelerate my mission. I forge alliances that multiply power. I am a gatekeeper of my circle, and only greatness may enter. This is your new standard. No more casual company. No more loose connections. Only aligned convergence. Because you're not here to play small. You are here to build cities with kings. And no king builds alone. Let me tell you what happens when the mastermind is activated. Your pace increases. Your belief expands. Your excuses dissolve. Your blind spots are revealed. Your resource pool explodes. Your execution accelerates. Why? Because collective faith is stronger than personal fear. When everyone in the room believes it's possible, failure becomes embarrassed to show up. You are the average of the 5 people you associate with. If that's true, why not upgrade your average? Surround yourself with builders, with thinkers, with fire starters, with warriors of truth. People who are allergic to mediocrity. People who hear your goals and say, that's not big enough. People who make you sit straighter just by their presence. Because in their presence, you become more. Let me end this part with a challenge. Stop walking alone. Stop thinking you are the exception. Even Jesus built a team. Even kings had councils. Even visionaries needed scribes. Greatness was never meant to be solo. So find your circle or build it. But never again walk the path of purpose without power beside you. Because the dream is too big, the storm is too real, and the time is too short to not be in mastermind alignment.